Welcome back to Purple's TWOW Odyssey All-Stars. This is episode 14B. Last time, our 4 alive contestants responded to the prompt, if money or practicality wasn't a limit, what would you add to your city to attract tourists? Don't remember who the final 4 are? Well, we've got this quick little art from Pi Squared to remind you. The responses the final 4 submitted, as well as one dummy, were voted on by 26 voters. Specifically, great thanks go out to An Epic, Bandit, Burrito Burger, Kozki, Conspicuous Piggy, Consuming Crayola, Ender, Fonda1515, Foxy, Freneco, Gizmodude8128, Italic, Izzy, Jess, Kaistopia, Leia Rose, Madeline, Mini Panga Dave, Mr. Dell, Pi Squared, Plasmic Trojan, Random Gamer 123, Sergeant Snivy, Site Director Solix Hawkray, The Name's H, and Vortex83. Thanks so much, everyone! Alright, let's go. First up is Plasmic Trojan, who submitted 3 responses, the highest scoring of which was exact recreations of famous landmarks, tricking uninformed tourists into visiting. Ah, the classic deceitful plagiarism trick. It's almost like you're designing your city as if it were a TWOW response. How'd this do? Ooh, 53.85%. That's slightly dangerous for the final 4. Trojan will have to hope someone messed up both their responses if he doesn't want a view tech. Note that since DRP scores kind of spoiled the results last round, I'm not showing them until the end this time. Conspicuous Piggy's up next. He submitted legalized graffiti zones. Sightseers can view authentic metropolitan expressionism firsthand. Pretty cool if I do say so myself. A neat little place to let out your art as well as throw the responsibility of making your city look cooler on everyone else instead of coming up with something yourself. Very clever. But did the voters like it? Looks like they did. 65.38% is way more than enough for safety. Next up is our frontrunner, Site Director Solix Hawkray, who has gotten 3rd 5 rounds in a row. She once again submitted both her responses in the first day, the higher scoring of which was install cutting-edge teleportation technology, piquing scientific interest and enabling transportation. Definitely a cool idea, and packed in a fairly nice-sounding 103-character-long response too. Though, it might instill fear in some potential tourists who would be afraid of teleportation science. Who knows? Did this do well? I guess not. 48.72% puts her in danger of elimination. Trojan is safe in the elimination comes down to nerd against our thrice-in-a-row scraper Izzy. They submitted jetpack tours. Participants get a bird's eye view of our skyline. Honestly, this is an incredibly cool idea, but could also scare people, just like Nerd's response. Were the voters sufficiently fearless? This was definitely one of my favorites, but that doesn't mean the crowd liked it, and that's what we're here to find out. Who will go home in 4th place? The answer is... farewell, Site Director Solix Hawkray, Biscuit Mistress, some nerd, whatever you want to go by. Your performance in this season was nothing short of legendary, and it's extremely sad to see you go. You started off strong in round 1, and then very nearly died in round 2, but you in no way let that sway your momentum, as that proved to be your only sub-50 performance in relative ranks the entire season until now, which is crazy impressive in a contestant pool so tough that everyone is a previous alumnus and bad responses past the early game are very hard to come by. Even in the late game, your performances did not falter, giving you an extremely consistent 3rd place streak that wasn't broken until this round. You managed to plow through the competition the whole season, despite your busy life, your desire at one point to quit, and more recently your extremely quick responding period, so it's almost unbelievable you didn't hit the podium. But 4th place had to go to someone, and just as with Joseph Howard in TWOW, Vizixium in Dark Season 7, and Kitten Ruler in The Name's H Season 2, the podium cuck is fairly often the one who deserved it most. Goodbye. Anyway, here's the full leaderboard of this round. Would you look at that? You all got roasted by my dummy response. This round was extremely intense in the first half of the voting period. Just check out this graph. Every single contestant was in every single placement at some point during the voting period. And to make the intensity even more apparent, look at the graph of the scores. Particularly after 11 votes, first and last place were merely 1 vote placement away from each other. Crazy stuff. Here's the Sheets version. Time for statistics. With Nerd eliminated, the frontrunner role goes to Conspicuous Piggy, and the Consistency Master role goes to Plasmic Trojan. Trojan also steals Efficiency Champion back from Izzy, and Izzy keeps Wildest Survivor. Mentions time. Dave extended his lead a lot in the episode he died in, being the first person ever to be mentioned 10 times in one episode. And now that Dave, ITOD, and Nerd are all eliminated, the top 3 most relevant competitors are all dead. Last round's Matrix looked like this. The actual results were nearly the opposite of what you'd expect, with the average prediction chance being a mere 20.40%. Here's this round's Matrix. The chances are overall fairly even, just a little bit skewed in the order of relative ranks. Time for your next prompt. Your round 15 prompt is: you're part of the design and development team for the world's hardest Easter egg hunt. Where will you hide your egg? Note that this can mean a hard place to think about looking in, or a hard place to get to physically. I'd recommend you keep your answers somewhat possible though. Anyway, this round is going to be a bit short, so you'll have to respond quickly. The deadline is December 19th, 2019 at 23 o'clock UTC. That gives you just under 2 days to make 3 responses each, so manage your time well. Good luck. Sorry for the short deadline. Bye, friendos.